Hi, my name is Elaina Soulek, and I'm a 5th grade teacher here at Kate Mitchell Elementary. I'm making this video for Stephanie Troncoso. This year, I've had a lot of behaviors that I've had to deal with in my classroom, and as a second-year teacher, there were a lot of things that I tried but hadn't had to deal with before, since I had limited experience up to this point in my teaching career. And so Steph had reached out to me and said that she would like to help me as much as she could in dealing with some of the behaviors that I was having in my classroom and some of the classroom problems that my kids were having as a group. And so I've really appreciated her help this year. She reached out to me and asked if I'd like to meet, and so we met together and spent an hour and a half the first day that we talked and sat and just she listened to me talk about the issues that we were having and some of the things that I had tried and how the kids responded to that, whether it was successful or it wasn't successful and there was something else we needed to try instead. And after listening to me, she was able to kind of tell me some of the commonalities that she was hearing and things that I was saying and things that I hadn't even really picked up on myself. But after listening to me talk, she could pick out some things that she heard repeatedly that I hadn't really thought were connected to each other, but she helped me realize some of those things that really were connected to each other and how we could best deal with them. And so after being able to figure out what some of those problems were, we came up with kind of a game plan of how we can best deal with it and reasons why kids might be behaving in this way and having these issues with each other, and things that we could do to either prevent it from happening or strategies that we could teach them and help them to deal with the situation in the future. Some of that included just them needing to have a consequence for some of their behaviors and what that appropriate consequence would look like, a logical consequence for that. So she helped me come up with a lot of the behaviors that we were dealing with were disrespectful behaviors, and so to deal with that, we decided that we needed to have a plan of steps. So if kids are having these disrespectful behaviors, that there's going to be an immediate consequence. Try to get them to think about the things that they're saying and doing before they do it. And so for a consequence, then they've had to spend some of their recess time with me, since we're in elementary school still. There's no detention. I can't keep them after school, but they're going to middle school next year, so we felt it was really appropriate that they do need to spend sort of that detention time with me. And so they've lost some recess time for disrespectful behaviors, and when they come in, Steph helped me come up with and find this think sheet, this behavior think sheet, and it talks about what their behavior was or the reasons for their behavior, how did my behavior affect others, what's my plan to improve my behavior, and do I need to apologize to anyone? If so, to who and why? And there's a signature for them, for myself, and for their parents. And so to further try to connect this, we decided that I need to send this home every time that a student has to fill this out. So every time a student spends recess inside with me, then they fill out one of these sheets, and it's a silent recess. It's not fun. They really hate it, but it has had its effect. And then I email it home and explain to the parents what happened, what behavior was. They get to see this exact sheet, and they talk about it with their child at home and what the situation was. I have seen a huge impact that this has had with my kids, that they know there's immediate consequence for their disrespectful behavior. They're having to think through why it happened, if they need to apologize to anybody, and then go apologize, whether it's me or another student that they need to apologize to. And then that connection piece of it being at home, that the parents talk to them about it and are really connecting it at home and trying to make the biggest impact we can with them, doubling up on the importance of respectful behavior and why this is really a life skill that we need to have for the rest of your life, not just 5th grade, not just middle school or high school. For the rest of your life, we need to have respectful behavior and be able to follow directions and not talk back or disrespect the people who are, whether it's your teacher or your parents or your future employers. The disrespectful behavior isn't acceptable at all. And that was something in my first year teaching that wasn't a huge deal that I had to deal with. But this year, with a different group of kids, I've had to respond differently, and Steph has really been able to help me out. I really appreciated how she reached out to me, said, hey, I know you're struggling with this. I would love to be as much help to you as I can, and was able to really listen to things and help me pick out things that I didn't even realize were problems. And she was able to help me come up with a plan to put in place to help deal with these things. And furthermore, since we started this a few weeks ago, we've met since then and we've reflected together and talked about how has it been going, are there things we need to change. And there's a couple things with this this plan, and especially rolling it out with some of our, when the kids go to specials or when they're at recess or lunch, that we've had to tweak some things, but it's been great to have an outside eyes be able to come and help and listen to me about things that I'm struggling with, and be able to help me come up with ways that I could deal with these problems, tweak it if we need to, reflect with them, and be very supportive. I am really thankful for all the help that Steph has offered, especially because she saw there was a need here to come and help with this, and she took it upon herself to come to me and ask me if there's any way that she could be of support to me. And so I am very appreciative of that, and definitely recommend that she would be of help to anybody else that is trying to deal with some of the behavior issues that they're having in their classroom as well.